You can find solace and tranquility in the outdoors. You can connect spiritually. You can find like a whole new connection with the outdoors. When I first came here, I wasn't that into the outdoors, but now that I've been able to be here and experience all the things that I've experienced, I want other people to have that experience as well. I don't really see that many people of color in the outdoors, and I want for them to have opportunities in the outdoors to find things that they like there.
I think one day I had come back and I had been running in the woods with my husband, and we recognized that all of the people that we saw were, white and probably affluent, and we just were really thinking about it in a different light. And I had this conversation with Anyene. What can we do to help change this? What can we do to make these beautiful places that we love more accessible to other people, And Anyene is very passionate about equity and inclusion work. And she immediately was yes, let's do action steps. What can we do?
Why can't we bring some people here who would never otherwise experience a wild place like we have here in the High Peaks region of the Adirondacks? And so Enyene's voice was heard and her intention was powerful.
That conversation, I think, started it. And that's how Access Wild Places was born.
They've been very excited. They've never been in this type of environment before. They live in a city-like area. I think the majority of them are definitely out of their comfort zone, trying new things that they never thought they probably would ever even be exposed to.
I've gone to rivers before, but I've never been in a forest. There's been forests where I've gone to, but I've never been in them because I was always afraid that I would get lost or that I would get too tired and then I would want to come back. So this was my first time being outdoors.
One of my roles is seeing somebody who looks like them, talk about what they love about the outdoors, also talk about the parts that are challenging, just affirmation of who they are as whole people right now, and about gratitude for being in this space with them.
I didn't really expect any villages to be around here, people actually living here. I thought it was just out in the wilderness, away from civilization, and definitely no Wi-Fi.
I thought the bedding was gonna be in an orphanage where all of them were on one floor and we just all piled on top of each other. But then there's actual rooms here, so that was great.
Rock climbing looked very scary. I was what if I fall? I wasn't sure if they really had me, so if I fell, I thought I would just fall. It was nice, they really did, it was very secure.
My favorite part was definitely the rock climbing because I didn't realize that I was such a good climber. And the thing that I learned was that there's different things that are outdoorsy, like horseback riding.
Nice, look at you go.
Or growing plants. There's different definitions for outdoors.
That's just so good. Yes, good. Go, get one.
I was amazed. I was in shock. I thought it would have been like out in the woods in a tent. This is insane. This is crazy, especially that view. First thing I saw, I was in awe.
I was walking up the mountain I got to like be with my thoughts for a bit in a healthy way. This like really just helped me relax and not be so stressed.
There's nothing like actually being outside, you know, by a tree. There's like energy that comes from a tree. There's warmth that you get from feeling the earth under you. And when you don't have a green space, for example, where you live, it's really hard to decompress. It's really hard to de-stress. You cannot have social justice without environmental justice. You can't. Most societies are, you know, centered around cities. And it becomes increasingly important for our mental health and our survival to have access to open spaces. They are intricately connected.
The outdoors part of a curriculum is so important because it keeps the human aspect of it. That's the main reason why it needs to be. Come outside and get grounded. Walk around outside barefoot if you can every day if you have the opportunity. You will feel different.
There's so much to enjoy in that space, and when you stop and think about the sound of the stream that you're walking through, and you think about the sound of the air moving through the trees, and you've had a really cool experience, you want that over and over again.
I think once you get to the outdoors, you start seeing the beauty of your home community too, and that these moments can be also found there. I think sometimes what sparks it is an opportunity to spend a week in the woods with a constellation of people that you may never see again, and then you will have confidence to do things that expand your worldview.
When you take a person out into the wild and they have an incredible experience, you are creating another steward of the earth.
What other birds you see out there? What other critters you see out there? What animals do you hear compared to how many trucks you hear? When do we figure out ways of literally sharing resources like this with people instead of just inviting them to it? That's the question.
I think through the development of this program, we've realized that not only is it impactful for the 10 students and 2 teachers, but we have corporate support that is supplying much of the equipment that the campers are utilizing. And these are corporate sponsors that recognize that the outdoors is not fulfilled if it's not diverse.
You know, this is the beginning of a new thing, you know, and everything big started very small. And before you know it, you know, this explodes.
We hope to inspire other programs and other schools to build this out in their communities as well, because what we're attempting to do is have a ripple effect across the world.
It is absolutely crucial that we share the bounty of nature and that we don't keep it to ourselves. Those of us who do have very easy access to mountains and trails and oceans and lakes and rivers, it's really, really important that we share. The payoff is this. The more human diversity that we have in terms of where a person lives, in terms of a person's race or gender identity or age or ability, the more of that we have, the more sort of diverse our own ways of thinking will be. We are nature. We are part of nature.